Hello, twin flames. All right, divine feminines. Let's get right into this. Okay, so major triggers coming up. I am super triggered right now. I want to talk about being triggered by tarot, especially if you have mental health stuff going on, if you have OCD. I don't know what the link between that is in regards to intrusive thoughts playing a role in the way in which you see things or see things incorrectly. But let's see what this lesson, what is this trying to teach us? Beliefs. I was going to say, what is this trying to show us right now? What triggers are you facing right now, divine feminine? I want you to get really clear on them. You know you're triggered. I want you to write down what your triggers are right now. Like, stop this, go get a journal or a piece of paper. I want you to nut this out with me. I want you to write down what your trigger is. Okay? Let's do a little bit of CBT therapy together. And that trigger is coming from an old feeling or an old situation that has happened before. And for some of you, it's something that hasn't happened to you before, but it's something that you have either witnessed from somebody else, and it's playing into your beliefs. Okay, so your belief systems. Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is a misalignment between the intuition and the limiting beliefs, teaching you that you're this is your intuition. It's like your ego and your logical mind is trying to tell you that what you're picking up on is your intuition when it isn't. Okay, remember, intuition is not fear-based. Intuition does not invoke crippling fear within you. So this is a moment for you to really just rest. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're dealing with right now, great change and transformation is wanting to happen in regards to your triggers and what you are triggered about. There is a trigger that keeps coming up in regards to your twin flame connection. Okay, it's something that you have been holding on to. I want to know why. Why have we been holding on to this one trigger? For some of you, it's like a reoccurring intrusive thought or a reoccurring trigger. What is this? Why are we holding on to this one trigger? Thank you, Divine Masculine. Why do we keep holding on to this one trigger? I'm hearing tale as old as time. This is linked to things changing, the rug being pulled out from underneath you. When was the last time you experienced this or experienced similar feelings linked to the trigger? For me, it's that, what if my divine masculine's doing this or doing that behind my back? And I'm like, okay, so where is this coming from? And it's coming from not being able to trust that they are who they say they are, or they are who they show they are. And this is definitely from as a child, right? You're not always aware of divorced parents. You're not always there. Not everyone is always there as a child when, parents are discussing things like that, or when a parent decides to leave. It's not something that is always, for some people it is, but for some of us, it's not something that's always obvious. Especially when you're a kid, you don't really have much idea of what's going on between your parents. And when one parent decides to leave, that's not always shown. It's not always anticipated, is what I'm trying to get at. And the upheaval that comes from a situation like that can really catch a child off guard, and it can really ingrain this belief into them that, as soon as you relax, as soon as you start feeling good, and as soon as you relax into that feeling, your person's going to leave. That change is going to come. And that's why we're so easily able to, one, see things in tarot that, are being said that aren't being said. It's like your brain, your mind is only scanning for, subconsciously only scanning for things that are pertaining to your fears, not the possibility of something else. What else it could be talking about? The Emperor and Justice. King of Cups on the bottom. And it's like, if you are a child of, you know, where one of your parents had an affair, you don't always, some people do, but you don't always know that your parent was having an affair. And when they leave or decide to leave due to that affair, or when you find out that that parent was having an affair, it can be really jarring, because you're like, I had no idea, and like, my parent is not who I thought they were. And that is a trauma, that is a wound that, I guess for me and a lot of you guys that are resonating with this message, haven't yet fully dove into yet. Yeah, the Hanged Man. It's almost like you might be viewing your divine masculine through the eyes of the sins of your father, or something like that, or mother. It doesn't have to be, but you know that your divine masculine is a good person. You know that they're not likely to do what happened, what your parent did to your other parent, or something like that. But there's always this what if in the background, because you didn't know that was going to happen, or you didn't know that's what your parent was doing. You literally had no idea. You had no idea. And this Ace of Wands keeps coming out. There's like, this is a real new opportunity to redefine your sense of self and your beliefs and your attachment style. This is huge. This is a key topic if you guys are working on attachment style, working on, moving to secure attachment. It is learning how to accept that here on this plane we're all human beings and we're all capable of something like that. And yes, that means your divine masculine too. Your divine masculine is capable of doing what your father did to your mother, or whatever the story is, or whatever you fear that they're going to do or that they are doing. I think it's the shock or the fear of finding out something that you had no idea of, that you didn't know was going on, the shock of that. And then the upheaval that comes with that is something that your brain is trying to anticipate. And you can't anticipate something like that. And I just want you to sit with that. It's quite possible that your divine masculine could do that to you. Yeah, it is a possibility. And I'm just going to be real with you. It's a possibility. Does it mean that they will? No. Does it mean that they could? Yes. Is that something that we can prevent or anticipate? No. The answer is no to that, divine feminine. And I want you to be okay with that. I need you to be okay with that, because this keeps coming up. And the way to secure attachment, which allows your divine masculine to come in towards you energetically and then physically, is by accepting this one key piece of information that yes, potentially we live in a world of endless possibilities, and that is a possibility. It's a possibility that your divine masculine can do that, and it's a possibility that you could do that. And I think the uncertainty of not knowing whether that is something that is going to happen in this situation or not is what's coming up. And no one can predict that. No one can predict that. Because these are choices that are made moment to moment. These aren't choices that are set in stone. And I think it's important for you to know that your divine masculine isn't destined to treat you the same way or do the same thing. They're not. But they could. Doesn't mean it's